Instagram recommendation. Have you seen Comments for Neve?
No.
You have not been to Comments for Neve?
Never heard of it.
Okay. Neve is a young girl who, I guess, in her own weird way, she kind of looks like a chipmunk. I'll pull her up. And she appears to be, I'm going to guess, mid 20s. And she does dad jokes. She goes, well, I took my boyfriend to an orchard and to look at all the beautiful trees. Guess that's not the Apple Watch he wanted.
I might have seen her on TikTok before.
Do you see the comments?
No.
Is it ironic or she doesn't get it and everybody else is into it?
On her account, she is turned off the comments.
Okay.
So people are now grabbing the
Right.
videos and replacing them or reposting them on Comments for Neve. This makes me laugh so fucking hard. I would love to go back to the origin of it because someone that posts first always writes, gentlemen of culture, we meet again. And then the comments start. And the comments read as follow. Again, she did one recently going, I was always scared to be a gardener, but then I grew a pair. And she holds up like a pear. People write, gentlemen, pleasure as always. Hilarious. Please diarrhea into my catheter. Tear my prostate out and wear it as a necktie. Oh my God, that's so funny. Freeze my toes with liquid nitrogen and then break them off one by one while you tell me how I won't amount to shit in life. That's a real knee slapper. Dress me up as Hunter Biden and make me blow Fenny Wap. Oh my God, you are so funny. Freeze your period blood and make popsicles with it and then force my children to eat them. Shit they write.
They go hard.
Dude, it's
Freeze my period blood,
Jeez.
make
It's
popsicle.
brutal. And every single one, you know what it is? It's a modern day social media aristocrats.
Oh, I got
Where
you.
people are trying to take the aristocrats joke and just outdo one another and outdo one another. This is officially the only channel I have set up with an alert for when she posts.
Comments for Neve. That's what
Comments
we look up on
for Neve.
Instagram.
You are so funny and beautiful. Give me a hard life as a child in Syria. What the shit is that?
This is a daily ritual for you.
Yeah, every day.
Love that.
You're so funny. Save all of your toenail clippings and make a friendship for my gay father.
So this is not her page. This is a different page.
She has a page that was intended to be, look how goofy I am.
And,
right?
and she
then,
turned off the comments because they're so ridiculous. And now this page
so she kind of missed her opportunity.
rose.
Well,
from
yes,
that.
because her comments, her views used to be in the hundreds of thousands. And now they're down into the single thousands because people now just wait for comments for Neve to take it. I'm not sure how much of I think it's Your Mother's House, YMA with Tom Segura, and not his Two Bears, One Cup. Or excuse me, Two Bears, One Cave. And there was this girl,
Bears,
there's
One
cup. Fucking idiot.
That's a great video.
That might be the name of the show. Two Bears, One Cup.
Oh, my. Yep.
But there's this girl that they interviewed that for whatever reason, she's just this kind of portly young woman that discusses what it's like starting her day and making fresh coffee. And she's going to head to the gym and maybe do some shopping for her mom. And people just collectively decided just to roast her. She had 20, 30, 40 followers. She wakes up one day, she's got 40,000. And people just like to write in hate from wherever they're at. They go, hate from Australia. Hey, John in Serbia, fucking hate you. It's just people pouring in. And they found her and they interviewed her and she leaned into it.
Okay.
And is now
That's the way to do it.
minor little bit of an internet celeb. Will
You gotta
have
lean
a
into it.
cup of coffee and we won't be talking about her from a year. But everybody in chat, if you can, please head to Comments for Neve and have a laugh.
I woke up today to something very confusing.
Oh, yeah, done.
I get a text from my half brother's wife. I mean, the wedding's November 30th, but they've already, I guess my sister-in-law. It's the easiest way to say it. And they had come to the show Friday night at the Draft House. And so she sees my t-shirt, or she's aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wake up, she's texting me, and I'm hungover, I'm half out of it. And she goes, hey, is there any sort of promo code or sale for that link for the t-shirts and hoodies? And I'm like, I'm not, I said, I don't have any hoodies. I think she's talking about my Once You Go Away.
Yeah.
And I go, no. And she goes, yeah, I'm going to get my son one. I'm like, you're getting your 8-year-old kid a once you go white, you'll still be tight. What?
You better wear that around the house.
And she keeps mentioning hoodies. Like, I don't have any hoodies. She goes, yeah, that's in the link. And I'm thinking that she's put a link in the text, but forgot it.
Okay.
There's no link. And then she sends me it, and it's a design of a t-shirt and a hoodie with like Rob Mayer and a microphone. And I'm like, okay. And then I think that she made it herself.
Right.
And then I'm thinking, oh, is she asking me to buy this for her?
Yeah.
And I go, well, what size do you need? She goes, no, I already got medium. And I'm like, okay. And I'm a little confused. And so then I figure, okay, I guess she made this herself. And then she bought it. And I'm like, okay. An hour later, I think nothing of it. I go on Facebook and I have all these messages. Hey, yeah, I love that shirt. I'd love to get that. And I look, it's my photo, and I've tagged all these people, and then I've sent the link as if, hey, check out my merch.
Okay.
Oh, and they're using your likeness and to sell stuff.
Right.
Oh, shit.
And then I go on the link, and it is my photo, my same profile picture with me and Keckner, but it says locked account, no friends. It's not me.
Yeah.
Right.
But all of my latest posts on Facebook that had the most comments, there's links in there, and they've tagged all these people.
Oh, they've tried to find a way.
They tried to jump into your
monetize
shit.
it.
Yeah, they've tagged all these people that now think that and Brittany was like, hey, I wanted one of the shirts.
You started a store.
Yes.
How much is the hoodie? I might get one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm buying.
They were nice. Well, I went in there and I figured that out, and I deleted it, and then I reported the profile. And then I kept going. People kept commenting, dude, I totally want one. I'm like, is this really happened? So then I went and texted my sister-in-law back. Now I figured out what happened. But I was like, what the fuck is happening? I was like, I know I got drunk last night, but did I wake up at 2 a.m.? I'm designing t-shirts and
Yeah,
hoodies
you became
and
with the whole
tagging
soft
people.
good line.
I get drunk and do dumb things, but not that.
How
That's,
much are
The
the
stripperscreamer.com.
How much are the hoodies?
I don't know. I should ask her. I wonder if
If
I
you
hope,
know,
I hope it's real. Then I just steal your credit card
if-
information.
If you know Brittany, type in chat what the hoodies cost. I guess. By the way, why are they texting you? I want one. They can just go on this link and buy one.
No, they weren't texting me.
Or
They on
messaging.
Facebook. They were responding.
Right. Well,
Because
I
I tagged them,
oh, I was gonna say.
and they look great.
Right. Oh, I see. I thought they were saying, "Hey, I want to buy one." I go, "Well,
No,
if
they were
see the
they-
link. They can
well,
just buy it."
They could have, you know.
Would you like to book me for a comedy show
Max-
coming up? Because you can go to mn2s.com. It's my booking website that I have no idea what the fuck this is.
I've seen that, dude.
Yeah.
Like I have an agent or something.
If you look me up,
Mhm.
book comedian Justin Schlegel, this site comes up. I got to follow up on this. This maybe was late last year. I
Yeah.
had Joe Stamboni, DLP, JSS producer,
Yeah.
reach out to them and with some absurd thing like, I'd like to book Justin for my gypsy wedding / quinceañera. What do I need to do? They responded within a day. Like, oh, we'd love to have Justin perform at your event. Can you tell us what type of budget you're working with? And I'm feeding Joe
Yeah.
lines. I go, tell him money's no object.
Yeah.
Will he fly to Abu Dhabi? And Joe writes it back like, absolutely. We'd love to have Justin Schlegel send you out there. Would you be willing to head to this forum and get the process started? Absolutely. They wanted a half down deposit.
Oh.
And then they are in the fucking wind and you never see them again.
Oh,
That's what it
shady.
is.
Oh, I thought
I
they would.
hate that.
I thought that would happen, and then they would find you and go,
Mm.
"Are you interested in
Nope.
this gig?" No, they just take
They
their.
don't. They just like, all right. So
Yeah.
there's some
So
oil.
maybe they're not. My sister-in-law bought something that's never going to get to
They'll
her.
never get to it.
Oh, great.
She'll never get that stuff.
Max says fake Rob Mayer more successful than real Rob Mayer.
God damn.
God, Mac
Not
was
going
just
fucking hard.
Yeah.
killing me in the comments when we were recording
Yeah.
Beetlejuice.
I don't know why you do that to yourself. Yeah.
No.
Pam
It-
says they tagged Eric too. They're getting Eric. So they're like, there's like bootleg bussy stuff.
You don't want to lose in merch sales to Eric.
No, well,
You
I
don't want
already
that to
the
happen.
profile is now gone because I tried to go back to it. So I Facebook, I
good.
reported it, and they murdered those people.
Shut that shit
Speaking-
down with a quickness.
Speaking of Eric,
Yeah,
so I'm glad you weren't at the second show. It
yeah.
was a little
I
off
was at the Arlington Draft House. Steph came on Saturday night. We'll talk about that.
it was a little off the rails the second show.
Yeah.
little
I
bit.
think that was the show Brittany was at, right?
That was
yeah.
the show
so,
Brittany
okay.
was
Yeah.
at.
so
Pam looked great. Rob looked great. Kid was living the gimmick as the Joker.
Mhm.
Holy shit. You thought Pam's kid knocked it out of the park with the Halloween Michael Myers deal? Ric Flair didn't pretend to be a real life champion the way that her beautiful baby boy pretends to be either Joker or Michael Myers. I mean, the laugh down pat, the cackle, the suit, the face paint. It was a Batman's rogue gallery up front.
Yeah. Anyway, so I had to get everything together. I didn't have Rob. I didn't have, so I have to give out all the rolls. I got to do all that. So I put the bucket back on stage and I forget to put the licorice in it.
Oh man.
Okay. And the licorice, if you've seen it, it's essential. I need it.
Yes.
I can not have any of the other things
right.
and just ignore it. But if I don't have the licorice, then I don't have a way to die. Right.
And you realize that in real time. As
soon as I look in, I look at Eric and I go, Eric, I realize there's no licorice in there. I go into the bin. There's a cylindrical thing in there. It's black and red. It has the licorice in it.
Oh no.
Now all of a sudden it's me.
Okay. So let's let Rob guess.
You're telling Eric in the middle, you're on stage. The show's happening.
It's happening. Okay. I need him to run off and grab a piece of licorice out of there.
Don't look at the chat. Do not look at the chat. Goddamn, Brittany already gave it up. Do not look at the chat.
All right.
He can't find the licorice. So he comes back out with a replacement. What can he find in a moment's notice? Side note, and I don't think I'm telling tales out of school, Eric is fucked up. Okay. He's feeling no pain.
Can I say one other thing? He's not, I tell him this before it's my turn to go into the bucket.
Yeah.
I then go over to the bucket and I'm going, all right. And I'm stalling to get this licorice up here.
Oh, this is stressing me.
Right?
Yeah.
I go, oh, an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Who wants an apple?
Yeah.
There's also a woman that is sitting up front that looks like pre-Ozempic Lizzo who is glaring at us. Her boyfriend is having a good time, but this woman up front is shooting fucking daggers at us and never got her. It was to such a degree, you know me, every now and then I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make an ally out of this person. First show, we had one of those, the table all the way up to the side.
Yes.
There was a guy that for the first 2 acts was just head in his hands, staring, and I go, I'm going to make a friend of this guy. And I got him, and by the end of it, he was out.
We got him.
I looked at her, and I'm getting nothing. And I go, there's nothing I can do. You hate this. They left, while we're still reading off team names.
Good.
Joe's stretching. And he's doing his dance. Joe can improv.
Granola. Oh my God. I love granola. High in fiber.
Valley granola.
Did Eric put a food item in there?
Well, hold on. Finally, Eric comes running up and I'm like, yes, let me dig in here. And I go in there and he hands me this thing. So
what would you grab that is available at Magooby's? He can't find the licorice.
By the way, the answer to your question is no. It's not a food item.
Okay. It's
food item adjacent.
Right. It's cigarette. It's
not a cigarette.
Nope.
It's
I'll give you a hint. It does go in your mouth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it?
And it's black.
Jesus.
It's Tim's dick. Gary L. Sausage. No. No, that would have made more sense.
So it's black is what he was going for.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Yeah.
So what he did was he took a plastic black spoon and he folded it up. By the way, he didn't even rip it off so I could make it look like a piece of liquor.
Oh my God.
And he bent it over and I have this and I go, are you out of your
But Joe cups the spoon in such a way so just the bent black handle is coming at his finger. So I'll be goddamn from a distance if that didn't look like a licorice nib. So then Joe,
dude, that's good.
Tell me if you did this on purpose, because Joe is doing everything to keep this thing on the rails. He's elongating. He's doing good improv. But then it comes time for him to ingest the licorice, which is the handle of a black spoon. He goes, nom, 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 nom. I'm crying. He
licking it like a lollipop.
Like a kid pretending to eat a plastic food. Nom, 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 nom.
Hey, if you really eat it, you could have died.
Hey, give me the alternative.
Maybe just like
you choke on it and actually die.
Or maybe like a snap it off in your mouth. It was just that he had it.
Yes. And then and I died.
Holy
melodramatic. Yes. But
dying.
Yeah.
God dying.
And I go, and then I go back and I go, Eric, right? He goes, I couldn't find it. It's
Jesus.
It's
I think the lesson for if we ever do this show again where we do 2 shows is to have 2 pieces of black licorice in there.
Just fill the bucket.
Well, at this point,
or as many.
At this point, that's probably the last time we're ever going to do it.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna write a new one. I would not mind. I really enjoyed the M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong horror themed one on the set of a horror thing. I say we go back to that one and tighten it up, and then maybe revisit Halloween Whodunit and maybe bounce them back and forth. I loved being on the set of that horror film.
We could
like
do
this
that
one.
same thing, just a different storyline.
And if you're listening to this in real time or early tomorrow, we're going to be at the DC Improv. We're doing this on the 29th of October, the 30th. DC Improv, one show, last one for the Halloween. Then we move on to our holiday theme stuff after that for Christmas and what have you. But
Indianapolis is up for sale now, December 6th, the debut of Clue Christmas.
Yes, and again, November 22nd, please, Jimmy's Famous Seafood. The answer is murder. It's the murder mystery comedy trivia night. Really want to have a good showing at that thing. So anybody, everybody, if you could fill that bad boy up, if we get in there and we do well, Minidakis will have us back. Minidakis will put us in bigger rooms. That's a guy that I would love to have.
Absolutely.
Oh, we got to talk about the casting. We got to talk about the casting.
Joe's a genius caster.
Joe is a genius caster. And okay, so there's a character in this that's the naughty neighbor. And the naughty neighbor, she's sort of the town strumpet. She's the one that does the naughty nurse and the slutty
she's
cop.
Always going to slut up her costume.
Yeah, the hooker Yoda and all this. So this girl comes on stage and
she's dressed provocatively.
She's dressed provocatively. I mean, I almost use one of my hacky stock lines, speak up, I can't hear you over your nipples, because they look like index fingers sticking out of there. And she's got a real childlike voice to her. And I start to look at the table that she came up from, and I'm seeing a soda, and I'm seeing like fries, and I'm seeing someone that is definitely not 21.
A Hello Kitty backpack.
Yeah, she's up there. She's finishing her homework. Her mom dropped her off. She's got a lunchbox. And when we're talking about her role in it without giving away too much, she's an absolute whore.
Yes.
And this is a character that I can have a little.
So you cast a 14.
By the way, he starts that way.
Yeah.
He starts doing what he would normally do if a hot, promiscuous girl were to be on the stage. Yeah.
And then the realization sinks in. I ask her a question. I go, I need to ask you point blank. Can you buy liquor legally? She goes, oh God, no. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. Oh, not even close.
No.
Yeah. And it's funny. We've run into that before, but honestly,
I thought it was 21 plus. That's a good point.
It never,
over 18.
She is over 18.
Okay.
Yes.
But it never, that stuff doesn't even enter my mind, right? But you understand, 18, when you're 18, I don't know how old she was. She was 18.
I asked her after the show.
Oh, how old was she?
18.
Okay, she's 18. So here's what that means. That means 5 years ago, she was 13.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That means
hey,
6 years ago.
You can still be whore at 18.
6 years ago, she was in middle school.
She can be Jim's friend. She can be my stepdaughter's friend. I'm supposed to have these like guttural sexual lines and some provocative improv. I stood next to her. Rob, you've never seen me stick to the fucking script. I mean, you've never seen me walk the path more.
Brittany
than
says
that.
they were at the bar after, and he was telling everyone that she was the star of the show. So,
she was great and they had a good sense of humor. But
I want to talk about my corporate gig yesterday at the National Harbor, Bobby McKee's.
Oh wow!
So my buddy Glenn, who I know, Andy Klein, good friend. They went to high school together, and I used to be in a fantasy football league where he was the commissioner. So I know him through that, and that's really it. And I probably hadn't talked to him in, I don't know, 7 or 8 years. And by talk to him, I mean in a draft room together, talking smack, not even actually talking. So he hits me up a couple months ago that he knows me and Keckner are on tour. We're friends on Facebook or whatever. And they're having some event around the week that Keckner and I were going to be at the Arlington Draft House. So that's geographically right by, and wanted to see about doing a show. And I pitched the Office Trivia Show, and then I pushed it up the line. I gave him the email to the Keckner's people and said, now you guys handle it. So I think it's dead because I hear nothing. And next thing you know, it's booked. They want us to do stand-up, not the trivia, which we thought was dumb, but whatever. And I'm going to do 15. Dave's going to do 45. We're going to be clean. And it's at Bobby McKee's, which is a good venue. And in the afternoon on Monday, I'm like, good. It's good to make money on an afternoon on Monday. And I get there, and then I realize that they're going first, the piano players, and people have been there for hours drinking. So, so now you're going into like they're drinking and they're listening to music, they're singing, and there's comedy. It doesn't make any sense.
A quick question about the setup.
Yeah.
Do they know there's going to be comedy?
Well, they know Keckner's there. I mean, that's a big deal.
So they're making that aware. I'll just make
Right.
this quick aside and get your story. I'm begging you, anybody listening, never surprise anyone with stand-up. Corporate birthday outing, don't surprise anyone. it's too much of a commitment. You've got to want to go to a comedy show.
Yes.
I mean,
I want to listen and pay attention.
I'm batting 1,000 on bombing at shows where I was a surprise.
Oh, yeah.
It never goes well. So good. I'm glad that they know.
So I can do the clean 15 minutes. And I have one particular joke that is always kills in the DC area because it's about basically, $1 million used to be the amount of money you'd fantasize about. Now, back then, if you won $1 million, you'd quit your job and you'd buy a mansion. And now if you win literally $1 million, the line I use locally, I'm going to buy a townhouse in Ashburn.
Yeah.
And then I'll see you work on Monday. Now, depending on where I am in the country, I don't necessarily know a town to say or what that line is. I'll put a down payment down because, $1 million in some places does go really, really far.
Right.
Yeah.
But I know in DC, if I say that always 10 out of 10 huge laugh. Then couple that with this is a home builder who literally has townhouses in Ashburn.
They know what they call it.
Right.
Yes.
So I know I have that in the bag. But I'm like, I don't want to open with that because what if it's a weird open? So I'm upstairs in this green room. And the woman who works there is going to let me know when we're going to go on. And next thing you know, she goes, all right, they're playing my theme music. All right, we're going. I have to walk out of this thing around. I'm upstairs, all around, go down the stairs. I'm introed. There's 20 seconds. I'm not there. I have a mic. She said it's hot. I'm saying I'll be there, but it's not on. So now I'm like, so I get in there. I'm flustered. I don't have my bearings.
Yeah.
And it's really loud at the bar. And
you're thrown off your back foot.
And it's just, there was a layup that I didn't fucking take. Now, I figured it out later, but there was right in front of me, there's a table of 8 people. 7 are elitely hot, 25, 27-year-old chicks, and 1 fucking nerdy white guy.
Okay.
And I'm like, if this is a normal show, I'm like, wow, what are you, the Uber driver?
Yeah.
Which one are you dating? I'm this 5 minutes right there. So I try to talk about, are we here to celebrate Jaden Daniels and something, and I'm doing my jokes, and like all I can hear is the bar talking.
Yeah.
And then finally I go, all right, I'm going to do the Ashburn joke. And then, big pop. And I'm like, okay. And then we loosen up, and it ended up going pretty well. And then Dave goes up there, and we'd already negotiated that he was going to do less time, and he ended up walking through the crowd. But it turns out he made the right people laugh.
Okay.
Because the big boss man. And so at the end, everyone's like, great job. And I'm like, really? I'm up there fucking struggling,
Yeah.
But I also know it was a lot of money. So
I'm
I'm
like,
like,
something to do corporates and colleges.
well, it was
sell your soul for a fat fucking check.
it was a lot of money, and Dave was very generous because I did set it up.
Yeah.
But then after the show, I meet this woman. She's one of the higher ups there, super hot, married, but she lives in Annapolis. She lives a mile from me. And I'm like, we got to come to the murder mystery. She's going to bring a whole bunch of people.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
The murder mystery. So this is the part I really want to tell. So my buddy Glenn, who was good friends with Andy and with Andy's brother Mike Klein, who famously on our show,
If you're
Eric,
a real
Yeah,
Robin Joe historian,
Mac knows this.
Yes.
Brittany says, "Did you shave her?" So, Mac. So, Mike Klein died tragically, and we figured out live on the air that this guy that would always fuck with me in the chat room, who fucked me in the way that he had to know me. There was inside jokes.
Yeah.
And so I got to tell this story to Glenn about how Mike was doing all this shit and he didn't know. So it was almost like this guy that's been dead for 7-8 years. Now you hear this story.
You get to hear a
that you
brand
never
new
know.
story.
And I
about
felt
it.
like he was really touched. He was like, wow, that's awesome. And it was like, well, I was actually getting emotional because I was thinking about, it's cool if this was happening and he didn't tell anybody. And now I get to tell you this story. It was almost like a sweet moment.
You plugged in another part of this guy that they knew and loved and missed.
Exactly.
With an extra, that's one of the reasons I sing the praise that Sam Talent book, Running the Light.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a portion in there. It's completely fictitious, but he writes it from the perspective of him opening for Norm Macdonald.
Oh, yeah.
After Norm has already passed. And I don't know if Sam Talent worked with Norm Macdonald, but he writes his verbiage in the book, his lines, and you hear Norm's voice when you read him.
Yeah.
And it's like I got to spend one more moment with Norm Macdonald in this book. So to your point, they got to get another moment with him because of that legendary just roasting you. I remember that was when I was a Robin Joe listener, obviously still your friends, but I would listen. And okay, Mac will fuck with you, and we know it's all good nature. But
he's still alive, though.
He's alive. Well, those barbs were insightful.
Yeah.
And those barbs are confusingly insightful.
And I was like, I knew he was references. Like,
how do you know this? This is
for years we tried to figure out who it was.
And then you only find out posthumously. You want to take a quick break?
Great idea. Be right back. the Office trivia show.
Yeah.
There's occasionally there's an incident. Usually it goes off without a hitch. I talked about the one a couple weeks ago during the Q&A where the woman asked Dave how much money was he making for this.
Yeah, God
you
damn,
look
it's
tired.
tacky. Yeah.
So there's one thing that doesn't always happen, but it bothers me, and this is sort of even a worse version of this. One of the questions involves the answer to the question is snakes on a plane. It involves when Dave started shooting the show, he had to fly down from Canada where he's shooting a movie with Samuel L. Jackson. What's the movie? And people actually get it right, like 45, 50%. And then it's funny when I say that's the answer, and then we have a little banter about that. And it's a little funny moment in the show. But people sometimes will write in NA, not applicable. Because it's not that much of it. It's certainly not about The Office.
It happens that frequently that
I'm telling you, it happens every 3 shows, and it always fucking pisses me off because like not applicable.
Just answer the question.
Yeah. Sorry, it's not about what dress fucking Pam was wearing.
You can't think of a movie that Samuel L. Jackson has been in. He's been to 300 movies.
Exactly. It's so.
What happens more, that or somebody writing in their murder mystery team name? My couch doesn't pull out, or I do.
Yeah,
which is a team name every time.
Yeah.
So there's a part of the show where I play Sweet Child of Mine. Every song is from the show that was featured in the show at some point. And Dave has a story about meeting Slash and going on vacation.
You're talking about
family.
youth sports and stuff.
Yeah. They met at a private school
silent auction.
Well, yeah, they met. They met. They went to a silent auction, but they first met at like the whatever you call when you invite the new people.
Yeah. I got
to whatever that's fucking called. And it's not a story where he's anyway.
Orientation.
Yes, thank you. So during this story, this guy yells out, "Stop bragging."
What? Okay.
He's
done.
He's on one of the what might be on the Mount Rushmore of sitcoms, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You came there to see the guy who was on that show.
Yes.
You don't want to hear stories
There's
about
crossover,
Steve Carell.
right?
You don't want to hear stories
with one of the most
about
legendary
John
modern
Krasinski.
guitarists.
Right. God.
He also,
fuck that guy.
by the way, texted Slash right before that saying, "Hey, you don't know this, but I always tell this story in my show about us." And he ends up teaching Slash how to play checkers at the fucking when they go on vacation together. And Slash actually texts back in real time. That was great, fond memories. I haven't played checkers since or whatever.
Yeah.
And this guy goes, "Stop bragging." God. And Dave goes, "Fuck you."
Good.
Right.
Good.
And the crowd is cheering.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, I just want to get back to the trivia. And I'm like,
no,
you could go to an Office trivia. Isn't some
you can
fucking
play it
bar.
on your phone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is why this is a
download.
show. There's more moments and everyone's booing him.
I love when an audience turns on an audience member. Nothing sweeter.
Oh, yeah.
When you get a one up, when you one up a heckler, and that's nice.
Yeah.
But when the audience all turns and has their back, that feels good. When someone gets booed for getting kicked out, that is another comedy nut.
And then Dave tries to soften it because we do pictures at the end. He goes, "Hey, don't worry. At the end, you're gonna get a picture with me too." And then this is where I get the last dig, and I go, "Yeah, but if you better not post that picture on social media because that would be bragging."
Oh,
boom, motherfucker! Drop the mic.
Yeah, eat it.
Stop bragging.
Mm-hmm.
No,
you know what that is? It's good leadership, Rob.
Yes,
you took
it
charge
is.
of the situation.
Very good leadership.
You took a hold of the situation that was unraveling, and you're a good leader. What are you holding there?
When I went over to my mom's for my birthday a couple months ago, for whatever reason, she had compiled a bunch of old photos,
walked in on her
yearbooks and stuff, that too. And she gave me this report that I did, handwritten on, I believe I'm in 4th grade, How to Be a Leader.
How to Be a Leader by Rob Bocephus Mayer.
It's long.
Yeah, well, I want you to just read. You're just going to read down half the first page.
It's in cursive,
I'll get out. I'll let you know when to get out. But we talked about how Joe talked about slavery and had to be on the right side of it.
I got this. How about next week too? Mudge found one of my old elementary school composition notebooks, and I wrote a poem about salad. And we'll bring that in. Okay, this is by Rob Mayer, 4th grade. So I'm assuming you were 9.
Sure,
right around them. How to Be a Leader. When I say a good leader, I mean people like Martin Luther King, Robert E. Lee, and Stonewall Jackson. Shit. Someone drew a line in the sand there.
Not Ulysses S. Grant.
Each side.
Wow. Southern.
Yeah. Do you know who would have hated Martin Luther King? Robert E. Lee.
You're trying to be diplomatic.
Exactly.
You're trying to, you want to appeal all people.
You're going red and blue.
Yeah.
Important people like that. Those leaders are very, very good leaders in our country. A good leader should have faith in himself. He should never brag about it. that he's better than someone else or something like that. Good leaders should or something have a lot of courage. Martin Luther King had a lot of courage because of getting assassinated.
You can stop it there.
God, that's brutal. Holy shit.
He didn't sign up to be assassinated.
It
He
doesn't.
didn't offer himself up as
It takes
tribute.
no courage
Yes.
to be
It
assassinated.
takes just awful happenstance. Good Lord.
Well, there's no grade on this. Come on,
Hey,
Rob.
If that's fourth grade, I got 6 A's and 1 C that year.
Good
C
for
was in
you.
handwriting.
Uh-huh.
I was going to say,
Yes.
That C teacher
Yeah.
should have given you an A. Yeah, I'll see if I can remember that composition
Yeah.
notebook. I could also tell by your handwriting on that thing. All the letters had a 45-degree slant.
Yeah.
I could just see the angle of the paper on your desk real close.
tongue out.
I could also see that one word normal, one word cursive, 2 words
Yeah.
cursive, 1 word
Poetic
normal.
license.
It's amazing
Yeah.
that there's a generation that's currently growing up that will never have a need or use or a place for cursive.
Oh, it's those days are
Cursive's
over.
dead.
Yeah,
Long
cursive
gone.
Cursive is
will not
absolutely dead.
will
It's
never
just
be
for
used
autographs.
Again. Let me ask you a
Yeah.
question. In the 4th grade, did you know who Stonewall Jackson was?
No, but
Hey.
that had to have been in the curriculum, right? You did.
Yeah,
were you
well,
like a
I
Civil
mean,
War
I was
fan?
in Front Royal, I think, around that time or Fairfield.
Oh,
It's
so
in
there's sites
Virginia.
of all kinds of Civil War
There's
battles.
schools. This is not even a joke. I thought Stonewall Jackson was black.
Oh, damn.
Because
Because his
Jackson.
name's Stonewall Jackson.
Say,
It sounded like
erase him
Yeah.
from
Yeah,
history.
right.
He's never happened.
yeah.
If today we heard of a dude named Stonewall Jackson,
Yeah.
I'm thinking he's a
100%
badass
Well,
black guy.
Yeah.
I believe
Yeah.
Stonewall is a nickname.
Yes.
But today that would be their
Yeah.
real name.
Damn, that's awesome. I would love to find some of your old writings back. Actually, I would love to find some notes about when you argued for slavery
Mhm.
in
Yes.
class. It was an assignment, not a thing that you just chose to do it of your own volition.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure those notes are gone.
They've just
Yeah,
turned to
I
powder.
don't think anything
They've
like
just
that is
ashed.
hanging around. Yeah. Hey, I don't know if I've ever told this story, but one time I had to write a paper on like some highly contested political subject,
Mhm.
right?
Okay.
And so I turned in my paper, and when I got it back, it said plagiarized on it, and it had an E
Oh.
on it. It said plagiarized.
Mm.
And I walked up to my teacher, Mr. Wills, shout out Mr. Wills, and I said, "What is this?" He goes, "You didn't write that." I go, why do you think I didn't write it? And by the way, on what are you
On what
you
basis?
have to have some sort of proof in order
Right,
to fail
yeah.
me? He goes, "I want you to bring in your notes and then I'll change your grade." So I go home, go in the garbage can, pull out my notes, bring them in the next day, hand them to him. I definitely plagiarized it, by the way.
Oh, hell
My
yeah.
father wrote the whole thing.
Oh, that's
My father
amazing.
wrote the
Yeah.
paper start
Yeah.
to finish, but so what I did was
Did you make fake notes?
I had to fake the notes and I had to hand in the fake
Fuck
the
yeah.
fake notes.
That's a lot of work.
It was a ton of work.
Yes.
Yes, in order to do it. But yeah. And then even back then I felt so
Mhm.
like like how dare you
How
question me?
goddamn dare
And
you?
meanwhile, he was 100% right.
You know how
I
long
did
it took
not
me to
fucking
cheat at
write
this?
it. Yes.
This took me all night to cheat at this. I did not go to college. I went to a semester and a half at Charles County Community College. But I did take an English course in there, and I was also accused of plagiarism. Me and another girl in the class were told to stay afterwards and goes, "You guys are accused of plagiarism. Both of these papers are literally identical." And I knew I wrote mine. And what ended up happening, here's how they tested. This is awesome. I had tend to use some flowery language. Okay. I've done my best with Macabre. But I did not own a computer, so I used the library computer lab to type and print there. And I would have spellings and errors. I was chucking them in the trash can. This bitch fished it out and turned it in. So you know what they did? They did a vocabulary test where they found the larger words in there. What does apoplectic mean?
Oh, shit.
Yeah. What does inconsequential mean?
Right.
What does macabre mean? And they gave us a vocabulary
Did
test.
she come clean?
Didn't come anywhere fucking close to getting one right. Never showed back
No,
up
but I
in the
mean,
class.
I see.
No,
So
she
didn't-
completely ghosted. But I one of my papers was snatched out of the trash can. It was apparently good enough to turn in.
I remember one time
I got a B minus.
And it was high school. It was probably senior year. This girl, Donna Slipe, was in love with her. Never even had a shot. But anyway, we needed it. We had to type the report, and my dad is a good typer, so he typed it for us. But then he did something where he wrote like nonetheless both times, and he put like a dash, something specific. So we had both our fucking papers had the same typed in the same, and the teacher was like, "What happened here?" And I had to try to explain it. And
They
like,
did some
You
language
can't say,
forensics.
"Oh, I
Right.
see." So your dad wasn't allowed to have typed it.
no, it's like if we have the same weird little spelling, it's like, did one of us do both papers?
Oh, I see.
So it was like either I did hers or she did.
Do you see
Yeah.
how Kelsey cheats? Oh, you ladies got it
Oh,
easy.
what's that?
She used to wear skirts and write the answers to assignments on her legs.
Yeah.
So she'd scoot up that hot
Mm.
little skirt and she'd get a look at her legs.
That's fucking hot.
Speaking of language, I have on
Mm.
my refrigerator off to the side,
Mhm.
I have a dry erase board. We have a lot of gigs. We got a lot of DLP,
Mhm.
stand up, podcasts, and all that. So I have just visually for the family and mostly for Mudge, at the beginning of every month, I'll do it this week. I'll write November gigs and I'll go in order and write down everything. So I take a look at this list. This is what I have. Let me know if there's going to be a conflict. We're coming up on the end of the month. Evan erased the entire thing
Oh.
for this month, but it's already done. The
Yeah.
only thing that was left on there is tomorrow. And he wrote October gigs, be naked. And then he wrote at the very bottom, DC Improv, 7 p.m. He rewrote it. But I come home and I'm like getting food, and he's just standing near the fridge, like
Not bad. It's not
look,
bad.
Good, it's a good bit.
It's not bad.
It's a good bit.
Not bad.
I've recently been being taken aside by Mom. Evan has discovered my love of joking about balls,
Okay.
and we're really
Mm.
connecting. We are
It's a good
talking.
bond.
We're talking about nuts a lot.
It's pretty non.
It's pretty
Yeah.
safe, and I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, this is just you and me in the car. But I'm like, hey, unless you get home and you clean up that living room, I'm gonna flick you in the balls, and just something like
Yeah.
that. And
Good,
he
good,
is
good.
teeth
Have you
flick-
actually done the ball
No,
flick?
never flick him in the balls,
But
but
you will at some point.
at some point.
Yeah.
I'll hit him with a little bag tag.
Sure.
Speaking of the bag tag, I know we're jumping around. We got shit to get to.
Yeah.
I told a pretty locally infamous story around here about our friend John Muma,
Mhm.
who back in the day was a dear friend of ours, still is, but he's left comedy. He's going to be doing one of my shows November 30th. He's coming out of retirement one night
Hell yeah.
to do stand up, maybe as him or a character. Anyways, but Rob, you weren't there on Saturday.
Oh,
You weren't there at Magoobies. John Muma famously used to love to walk up to somebody and hit him with the bag tag, as in it's like, hey man, good seeing you. Pop, hit you in the balls, like, oh, and then you would hit him back, whatever. Well, there's a dude by the name of Chris Berlin that
Mm.
had, he was kind of a nerdy, dorky, self-diagnosed autistic type.
Mhm.
And he was
No, I
shooting-
think it was diagnosed.
yeah, probably. But
Yeah.
even back then,
Yeah.
he was being like, I'm
Yeah.
super on the spectrum. Well, they have sort of sensory stuff, and they don't like loud noises, and they definitely don't like their nuts being hit.
No, they don't like that.
Mm.
We get done with an open mic back in like 2007. We get out front, and John's like, "Hey, good set." Bang! Just double taps him in the nuts. He goes down. He swings at John. Now, John is
murder.
country
Yeah.
strong
Yeah.
as anybody as
Yeah.
you've ever met. John proceeds to pick him up and fucking power slam him on to the cement.
Yes.
And I mean, fucks his leg up, his arm. He runs off like limping, like a deer that's just been hit. He's like yelling, just turns down an alley. I don't think I saw him for years. I'll be goddamned if he didn't walk into the green room.
Yeah.
That might have been the last time I saw him.
Yeah.
When he got
Looks
just
good.
power bombed.
He looks the same.
Yeah.
You remember the first thing I said to him on Saturday? I
All the
go,
balls.
I want to hit you in the balls. Immediately. I was like,
Did he remember it?
yeah,
Oh, yeah,
he did.
yeah.
He didn't find it funny. At home.
It's one of the worst days of his life.
It was actually
Do you
pretty
know
good. He
why-
almost broke his
Do you
leg.
know why he was there?
To film some documentary or something for
A
Tommy.
documentary
Yeah.
about Tommy, right?
It's about
Tommy.
creators. It's
Okay.
about. I
Okay.
talked to Tommy a little bit about this, and there's a story about that too, where it's about people that craft and make costumes and cosplay. And it's I think it's for a film school project of his. Well, he goes back there.
Film
and
school. He's 40 years old.
He's just in film school. So they're doing this, or maybe it was his girlfriend that was with him because there
That
was
was
a
his
girl.
girlfriend?
That was a girlfriend.
That's not bad.
She's cute, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. I
Berlin's
didn't know
doing well.
that.
So they're filming, and we're all, hey, tell us what it's like working with Tommy.
Mhm.
Tell us about his crafts. And we're all giving serious answers, and then we joke and blah, blah, blah. And they leave, and we all start to talk the way we do. But Tommy ain't talking. Tommy's quiet, and we're making some fucking jokes.
Mhm.
Okay, I made a joke about a Purple Heart that I was pretty proud of, and then Tommy like starts looking down. He is still 1000% mic'd up. It is powered, and it
Yeah.
is being fed to headphones to homeboy out there.
Yeah.
And we're fucking cooking him. We're making fun of everything. We're doing what we do. We're being complete
Right.
shitheads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
it
there's
is-
no way you can act like
No.
Maybe you do the bit. No, we
Nope.
knew you were listening. That
Nope.
was the
I don't-
joke.
No, there
Yeah.
were entire groups of people that we knew weren't listening, but we were making fun of. And
So every time he sees you, he either gets body slammed or just gets fucking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got bad luck with
20.
this guy.
he's either getting suplexed onto the concrete by my friend, or you heard me make some real off-color jokes backstage.
We just recorded a brand new bonus show. It is up on the Patreon right now. Let's hear a little taste of it. Boom.
And I was a feature act, and I mean it was F bomb, F fuck this, fuck. I mean I really was
Right.
overboard on the vulgarity, and I get backstage, and I can't remember who the MC was, but he goes, he's on there, he's going to do another minute or two, and he does he's like, can I talk to you for a second? And he does the dad hand on the back of the neck
Oh,
thing,
like
and like kind of pulls me close. He's not
Oh.
grabbing me or anything.
He's a big guy.
And he's very large. Gary Goldman's got some fucking size
yeah,
to him.
right.
And I mean, I'm 5-0, 100-0. And I'm like, this guy's about to tell me how fucking great I am.
Yes.
This guy, because I did very well.
Right.
And I was like, this guy's going to be like, hey, you and me are going on the fucking road.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hell yeah.
Never
this
leave
is-
my side.
Here we are. Yes, that's it. Be the fucking Batman to my Robin, Gary. And he pulls me in and he goes, the F word. It's a seasoning.
Yes.
It's not an ingredient. Speaking of backstage, I want to hear about the Knights of Columbus thing.
Oh, yeah,
in a
yeah.
second. Do you know that Sean Gabbard, he is our day trading comedian, actor, playwright, skier, cabin owner friend.
Mhm.
He was cleaning out a storage unit of his family's, and he finds something, and he gives it to Eric, and it belonged to his grandfather. It was a fucking presidentially delivered Purple Heart medal.
Jesus.
What's
Eric-
that worth?
I have no idea.
Why does he give it to Eric?
But it's on Eric's bussy vest now. There
Are you
is.
serious?
It's on Eric's bussy vest. He has like a Pantera patch, an
No.
Autobot symbol, a bunch of spikes, and a
Eric
presidentially
doesn't deserve
awarded.
it.
He does
No
not.
shit,
He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve
He's
it.
wearing a
That
Purple
is
Heart.
certainly a gift that you can go, hey, you know what? That was a mistake, and you get it back.
Purple heart attack.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course. Hey, while I'm
Show
telling the
title.
story,
Yeah.
I want you to Google what if you can buy a
Let's
Purple
find it.
Heart,
Okay.
what they're worth.
What is the cost of a real Purple
I mean,
Heart?
I know they're giving out with kind of. I don't think it's like a Congressional Medal of Honor,
Is
but
a
I'll bet
real?
it's worth $1,000.
How much is a real Purple
Yeah.
Heart worth?
I'm going to say $1,000.
Okay, here we go.
a
How much-
real one,
a real, not purple pearl,
One that's
purple
been-
Mm.
one that's
heart.
been given for
It went-
injury sustained in the line of duty or active
Yeah.
duty.
Does he know the backstory, Sean, of this Purple Heart?
While Tommy was still mic'd up, we came up with some of our own theories. of how Sean's grandfather got it. It involved a joke that we make about Sean quite a bit about being a pedophile.
Oh, that's fun.
This stuff's
Yeah.
on tape. We're pretty
Yeah,
fucked.
yeah.
It can never get out. It's shockingly low.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Yeah, Purple Hearts from World War II, typically pricier, depending on when they are, but typically valued. This is the pricey one, between $300 and $400. I
Oh.
thought it'd be into the thousands.
Yeah.
I mean, a
Sean-
nation's hero in a theater of war is now on a man that's singing a song about an inflatable fuck doll.
Yeah.
Chris West says 120 in a pawn shop.
Damn.
All right, yeah, that's okay. That's all right. Forget then. That's fine. I would give Eric $100 gift. That doesn't.
I
That
kind of want to buy it from him. I
Yeah.
feel like listen, there's
What are you gonna do
very
with it?
there's very little sacred with us. And that's one of the things I love about us. Play a game of Quiplash. Our dead mothers are doing horrible things with each other, lesbianically. But that Purple Heart, I feel like should just be on a shelf near a flag somewhere. or
Yeah,
something.
and
No,
from one
no,
of those
no.
glass
Something.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we should have some sort of yearly contest or something where
Somebody
the
has
winner,
to get it for a year.
the winner gets it for
Yeah,
a
yeah,
year.
that's a good idea.
Shit, I like that a lot
Yeah.
more. Yeah, maybe we have a championship game of Quiplash and the winner gets the Purple Heart.
Yes.
That some guy fucking killed 3 Krauts by hand at Normandy to get. Now it's because someone made fun of, Robert's 4th grade writing.
Do you
I mean,
even
think about that the travels of that Purple Heart. I mean, to cut you off, Joe, but like somebody was like literally getting shot at and
Oh no, no.
and now Eric's up there singing about a pussy's trash.
But
With-
someone wasn't shot at.
they killed.
Someone was shot.
Yes,
no,
yeah,
Purple Heart
right,
means
right.
you've sustained
Oh,
injury.
gotcha.
Yeah.
So someone was shot.
Mhm.
Maybe they were stabbed.
Yeah.
Maybe there was shrapnel from a grenade that went off.
And now this is going to be near a basket of onion rings at Morse Burgers. That's not where that thing goes.
And now Eric has it.
Yeah.
You think Eric can spell purple? He can't.
Hell yeah.
Purpel.
You know who would not like that are people that go to a Knights of Columbus.
Yeah.
Proud
So-
men.
Yeah.
Proud
By the way,
men.
I don't even. What is the Knights of Columbus? Do you
No
know what
fucking
it is?
clue.
I don't
When
even.
he
have
fucking
no
made
idea.
landfall and
Yeah.
fucking knights came pouring off that bitch, just hacking up villages.
I don't know what it is. Also, is the Knights of Columbus? Is that the our Columbus, the one that's been canceled?
I'll go, yes.
Is that
Is
what
there
it is?
find
another
out. Hold on.
Columbus? It's got to be.
What
I
are
mean-
the Knights of Columbus? Because I do know that we would have a lot of pancake dinners at that place.
Eric should wear his Purple Heart in there and get a lot of respect.
Let's see what we have here. I'm going to look up the about.
While you're looking, I have a guy that I mean, maybe I've talked to him in the last 20 years, but if I have, I've talked to him once, maybe twice in the last 20 years. His wife, she used to work for me when I used to sell electronics. She used to work for me. They met at the job where I was her boss.
Fuck, this story is so boring. Not you, the Knights of Columbus one.
And-
Yeah, no, not you.
And they end up getting married. Okay. So he doesn't have my number. I don't have social media. I get a message from her on LinkedIn.
Oh,
I know, right?
Yeah.
So even that I even saw it is a goddamn miracle.
that's a
right?
miracle.
I see it and she goes, "Hey, so and so is trying to get in touch with you. He'd like to ask you about an event that he wants you to participate in." I'm like, okay, I can't say no. I can't say no.
Right.
Right. But no, by the way, I can say no, but I can't say I'm not going to give you my information. I can't do that. That's not the relationship I have with these people. They get to have.
What
my
are you doing at
information.
this event?
We'll get there.
Okay.
So I go, all right, here's my phone number. Have him call me. Now, my plan obviously is for him to call me and me to say what?
No,
You're busy.
I'm busy.
can't
right.
do it. Yeah.
Oh, what day is it? I'm sorry, I'm busy that day.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I'm in the car with Katie. Okay. Phone rings. I don't recognize it. I'm like, but that's from an area. I pick it up. He goes, "Hey, it's this person." He goes, "I want to know if you'll host a trivia night where we're going to do Orioles and Ravens trivia at the Knights of Columbus."
Okay, maybe a little more up your alley.
Maybe,
Yeah.
but I don't want to do it.
Okay.
Right.
Are
By
they-
the way,
are they
I'll
paying
tell
you?
you flat out, what am I getting paid for?
Oh, you're getting food and drink.
I'm getting, that's correct. I'm
No,
going to do food
no.
and drink. Okay.
Not interested.
So clearly I don't want
Do you have
do
to
it.
write the question?
I don't know. That's the first thing I
Okay.
ask. The questions will be written. I don't want to do it. I go, wow, December is going to be tough to do weekends. I go, that's our murder mystery season. He goes, well, it's on a Monday.
No,
I said,
no.
"A
The irony is that we go to
Monday?"
trivia on
I
Monday
said,
night.
Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah.
Monday.
I said, and Katie's like, yeah, you're free on Monday. And okay. So I say, all right, I'll do it.
oh no.
I say, don't tell anyone I agreed to this. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I say to him. Okay. Now we hang up. Katie goes, what the fuck is wrong with you? I go, what do you mean? He goes, why would you say that?
Don't tell anybody I agreed to do this.
Yeah, right. Don't
That's
tell
kind of a
anyone.
funny line.
It is.
Yeah.
So essentially,
As you tell everybody on our
by
podcast.
the way-
My pay is your silence.
Yeah.
she's right.
Mhm.
Who the fuck's he going to tell? Right. I've talked to this guy in 20 years.
Hey, I
Yeah,
got
no.
some juicy dirt on Joe
Yeah.
Robinson.
Wait
Yeah.
till you hear
You
who's
have
going to
some
be the
shitty
surprise.
gig. He's willing to do it for
He's
free.
got Cal
So
Ripken trivia.
really, all I'm saying is that I don't want to do it, but I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
Which is not. I should not have done that. I should have happily done it and said I would do it for this old friend. But she's right. But then let me tell you what she did yesterday. So she doesn't get to throw this in my face.
Oh, no.
Okay. Me and Rob and her go to trivia. By the way, which we won.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. High
We
five.
did.
What'd you
Okay.
win?
We won a $25 gift certificate,
Sick.
which we gave to the
Yeah.
second place people.
Double,
Well,
sick.
Do you want to talk about the victory though? 'Cause-
Double it and pass it to the next person.
What? Oh yeah, there's only two. There's only
Shit.
two groups
Okay.
there.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
lightly
Yeah.
attended.
I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
You acted like we really won something. It was
Gold
we-
or silver?
we
You're walking with
beat
one.
Yeah.
another couple.
Like Mike
Yeah.
Anderson's
Mhm.
bodybuilding competition.
By the way, when I handed him the $25 thing, did you hear what I said to him?
No.
I go, we cheated, and I handed it. All right. Anyway.
Yeah.
So our waitress, her name was Aubrey.
Okay.
Okay. Here's the story Katie tells. Tell me if she now has the right to be upset or have a problem with me saying this to that guy.
We need Katie in chat for this. Yeah.
Yes. She goes, what's your name? She said, Aubrey. She goes, oh my gosh. That's my father's favorite name because of the song by Bread called Aubrey.
Okay.
Okay. She goes, that was going to be my name But then they told the family, and they hated it so much that they named me Katie. She said that. She said that to the waitress. She said that to the waitress.
That's you rubbing off on her.
And I said, wait a second.
That's you infecting her.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. If that's way worse than what I said.
She's taking way worse. Some traits. Yeah, my family would fucking hate you
because it started off great.
Yes.
My dad loves the name.
Yeah.
It's unnecessary for her to add the second part.
I was this close to being named that, but they went with Katie for some other relative of mine. But they hated it.
Hey, they thought the whole family.
The whole family.
Everyone. If you've met a push, they hate
the aunts.
Yeah. They said anyone named Aubrey is gonna be a whore.
The grandparents. All of them.
You some bucktooth AEW referee, get out of here.
Yeah. So you waive the right to kind of, And Katie did give me permission to tell this story.
Okay,
good.
Does Katie? Did she admit that was wrong, or she's
I don't know.
Holding on to that?
Is she's not in chat?
She's not in chat right now.
Oh man, I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear her defend that.
Yeah.
But another thing is she gave me permission to tell this because it's really not this. Okay. Elon Musk is offering a feature this entire month where you get to drive. The car will drive for you.
Okay. A free trial of auto drive or whatever it's called, or drive.
You put in the address. It makes every turn.
Yeah.
It changes lanes. It stops. It goes. It slows down. It speeds up. You don't have to do anything.
Have you seen the emergency feature on that?
What's that?
If you're having a fucking heart attack right now, you can go there's a 2-button thing, bip, bip, and then collapse in the seat. It'll drive you right to the hospital. There's a feature in your car.
Tell you what, man.
It'll drive you. It's saved a couple of dudes' lives so far that were having strokes and that couldn't physically drive, and the goddamn car got them there.
If I ever
Katie's in chat. Hold on. She says, honestly, I stand by it.
If I ever had to go to the hospital just to drive there to visit somebody, I'd do that.
Oh, you just go to the emergency
I'm
mode?
going to tell you why. Because it's not, you have to pay attention the whole time. The beauty of not having to drive, it's not going like this.
Yeah.
It's you want to just be completely free and unencumbered.
I want to read. I want to fuck
whatever,
around,
right.
take a nap,
And so what's happening
drink.
is while Katie puts the auto drive on, and I love it. I love it. I love that the car is driving us. That's where I went in my dreams, because Katie drives everywhere because I hate to drive.
Yeah.
If Katie's not in the car and I don't have to drive, that's a dream scenario.
Sure.
For me. Okay. Well, Katie immediately starts looking at her fucking TikToks when she's on there, right? As soon as she starts auto driving. But the car's like, no, you need to pay attention. And it makes a noise.
Does it detect where your eyesight is? It's got eye tracking.
It's saying, hey, you're not paying attention. Well, Katie did it so often, she got suspended.
Oh,
she
shit.
did. They fucking suspended.
They booted her for no eyes on the road.
She is what do you call it?
She's on a list.
She has
driver?
a 1 week detention, probation, suspension.
Shit. She's been putting fucking time out.
Katie, how many days into it?
Tesla jail.
Tesla timeout.
Yeah. Tell me how long we have left on the timeout.
Joe, you've been experiencing the Tesla before I got a Tesla because you never drive.
She's right. No, I know it's 7 days, but how far into the 7? Oh, Thursday. Okay, so Thursday, the car would up. Now, this isn't really, I get it. If that were me and I had to still have my hands on the wheel and I still had to,
do you have to be touching the wheel, or does they want your eyes forward?
No, you kind of they have to every once in a while feel
you gotta feel some
you
tactile.
gotta feel something on it. So and it's not comfortable to leave your hands on the wheel. Also, I
also don't know what to do with I've never used a cruise control feature in a car because I don't know what to do with my feet.
I rarely use it too.
I've literally 95% of the time, as soon as I leave, I fucking put it in cruise.
I never use. I don't know what to do with my feet
because here's why. Because it's just me, and it left up to me.
Yeah,
I'm not a good driver.
My Genesis out front, it's got cruise control with acceleration, deceleration, braking on the steering wheel. It's weird.
Hey,
it's got a
little I don't have braking.
Yeah.
I don't have braking, but I have the other stuff.
Yeah, I have it on steering wheel too.
It's weird. I don't feel comfortable using it.
Boom, cruise control. It's almost as soon as I get in the car.
Really?
And then I put gas. I accelerate with the
thumb, the little roller.
Yeah. If there was a brake on there, I'd never use my feet again.
God damn.
I would only do that. But again, I do that because if you're in a car with me and I'm not using the cruise control, you're gonna get sick.
Okay.
That's how bad
because you're jerky with it.
Jerking around. Right. So Katie does all the driving. So I swear I'm not making fun of her. I wish, why do I have to look? Are you driving or not? Is the car driving or not?
Have you ever heard of a little person comedian named Nick Novicki? He works a lot with Nate Bargatze. He's part of the Nate Bargatze crew.
Okay.
He's just a little person, but he has a van that he drives to gigs, and he's got the pedal extenders and the things they attach to the pedals, and they come out and they've just got two whatever. Well, he tells this great story on the Nate Land podcast where he goes and he sees him like in a parking garage, like, hey, I'll catch you tomorrow. Great shows tonight, whatever. He says he backs out and immediately he goes, the goddamn pedals become unattached and he can't reach them.
Oh, shit.
He just pinballs into 7 cars on the way down, attempting to slow himself down so he doesn't go off the edge of a parking garage or something. He just destroys a whole row of parking garage cars.
And then he kept going.
And then all the way and just donks into a pillar.
Now, if Katie does this again, is the suspension longer?
I was thinking about that because that's what happens in the NFL.
Yeah.
You know, if you get a suspension for targeting or something, the next time you do it, it isn't the same suspension. Right. It's more
10,000, 30,000, 50,000.
I have a feeling that Katie's not going to.
That's what I'm going to say. We're going to find. Well, what's the purpose of self-driving unless you can lounge? That's the idea.
People theorize that the true era of self-driving, it's going to have to be uniform across the board to where all cars are self-driving, and they will speak to each other. Exactly. The car in front of you talks to the car in front of them, to where it'll almost be like, what is it, a north-north magnet where you can't put them together. The cars will have some sort of electronic similar feature where we can't hit each other, and then you can kick back.
Yeah.
And there's no actual steering capabilities to them. You just sleep in
the
back.
We're not 10 years from that. We're not. Our technology goes like this. We're 5 years from that, probably closer than that.
They say you're going to have to redesign roads. The roads themselves are going to have to redesign with some sort of.
Well, that'll never happen.
Away. No. But there needs to be like filaments in the road that can communicate wirelessly.
They're going to be yellow with black lines.
Some cities will do it.
We'll have it on Mars when we go to Mars.
I think some like Asian nation, like Tokyo or Seoul or I don't know, maybe London. I don't know, but it ain't happening in Severna Park. It's still cool that the car can do that.
Yeah. No. And Katie's right. It's like really the only reason that they do that is so if somebody sues them because their car gets into an accident, they go, no.
It wasn't me. It was the car.
She's been suspended.
Now, speaking of cars, I owe about 10 people detailing work. I'm not sure if you saw the photo of me from this past Friday for Mudge's Business's Trunk or Treat, where we built a whole Christmas village.
I saw the Christmas village.
Okay. Did you see me with my snowmaker machine?
No.
All right. I need you to pay attention to. I'll give this to you, and you can put up on the Facebook or the Patreon page, Instagram page. That's me dressed as Buddy the Elf with my snowmaking machine. That's my face going, oh fuck, this thing is so much more powerful than I thought it'd be.
What is that stuff?
It is funny you should ask. It comes with a solution that's very much like a bubble solution, like a thing that a kid would dip into, but it's a little more thick, it's a little more viscous, and user error fucked up the ratio. It's supposed to be 3 parts water, 1 part this stuff. I 1000% reversed it, and it is thick.
It's coming like Cool
sudsy. It's spray. You'd have thought I had a fucking Ron Jeremy machine. The minute I turn it on, I am bukkake into the crowd in hot, thick suds.
Does anybody get mad?
Well, here's what happened.
Bukkake the Elf.
Bukkake the Elf was showering suds onto children who were eating cupcakes, who were eating candies.
Brittany said it was like Tommy's squirt gun.
Yeah, it's like that, yes. Which, by the way, we might need to do an update to the Tommy story.
What?
The Tommy story time with Tommy Simbazo, the legendary squirt gun story. He remembered a detail.
Oh, no.
A very specific detail.
On the next story time, which we got to knock out.
There's going to be an addendum to Tommy needs to do an updated remix DLC to that story. He revealed a new portion of that story about someone else that was there that night. That I don't know how it shook loose this morning, but it's a story worth telling.
Because it was on 98 Rock this morning?
Off air.
Okay.
I immediately was like, you're saving that for story time on Patreon.
Smart.
He'll do another one. But this fucking foam snowmaker, and we were planning on propping it up on like some books or something and let it shoot up in the air and then rain down suds. The YouTube videos and the Amazon videos of the thing, it just looked like a winter wonderland. I turned this thing on. It's just Peter North all over the crowd. Well, the suds are now landing on everything, and they're not going away.
Oh, man.
And they're leaving like a sticky film on everybody's cars, tables, outfit.
So you know immediately that it's your fault.
We fucked up
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, within the first 2 minutes of us finally being like, okay, that's set up,
Yeah.
presents are out. We took out all 3 of our Christmas trees and set them up in a parking lot. And it was my idea to get this goddamn thing. I'm like, oh, kids are going to love it. And I mean, it's going in people's mouths. It's in their eyes. I see some girl over like, Mommy, it burns. I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm so sorry. And there's a lady across the parking lot from us that's selling homemade candles and soaps. We've ruined all of them. I'm covering soap.
She lost $40 in
Yeah,
profit.
exactly. It's the stuff that you made from your own vaginal yeast and oats. So, new Patreon episode has been recorded. It's great. There's going to be new episodes of Laughs Count Anywhere, Dork Dynasty very, very soon. We got the DC Improv tomorrow. If you're listening to this live, if not, it's probably already passed. And a bunch of great stuff at dielaughingproductions.com. I'm going to continue to pound this drum. A DLP Patreon, patreon.com/the-DLP agenda. Great Christmas gift. Great Christmas gift. Give somebody the gift of hours and hours and hours of entertainment each and every month. And November 22nd, we got a big, big one at Jimmy's Famous.
And I think Katie might have just renamed the show.
Okay.
Trick or Skeet.
Hell yes.
Katie wins again.
Again. Take care, guys. It's the DLP agenda.
See ya.